Do your own critical thinking if you don't believe. But we've also talked about how George H.W. Bush Sr., was basically Scherf, German name, and his father, Prescott Bush, was a Scherf that served in the German Nazi army, or not army, but Navy. So we're seeing more and more of this being revealed. So both of them, both Bushes, Prescott and also George H.W., both born in Germany. So how was it that George H.W. Bush was a president and he was head of the CIA before that? So makes you wonder, right? So we know that George H.W. Bush was part of recruiting assassins for the CIA. These assassins traveled all over the world. Not only did they take down our government by killing JFK, but they also took down governments all around the world, Cuba and Chile, and you name it, pretty much around South Africa. So governments all around the world, these assassin teams would go in and eliminate the opposition. So James Files talked about that on my show. We started off me, Jim Manning, Jim Scott, and then we had Jim Files coming on. So the three Jims, we stopped saying I stopped saying Jim and started calling them by their last names. So that was funny because everybody was getting confused. So my God, there was a bombshell, absolute bombshell that was dropped. Now, James Files started to talk about Area 51. We brought up information about Area 51 and how Marilyn Monroe had been basically informed about alien technology, Area 51. And that was maybe one, but that was probably the main reason why they killed her. And they killed JFK. And they killed RFK. So they protect this. Majestic 12. I've had the heat from this organization with the CIA too, just by verifying someone that talked about Area 51, how he was involved in it, and technologies that were at Area 51, all kinds of crazy stuff. So just by verifying someone that had gone through SEAL training and they tried to destroy his life, I basically got my life destroyed and almost killed in several instances. So this technology is there, the alien involvement is there, and I'm going to play a clip of our conversation today so that you can see that there are some very, very strange things. Now, James Files talked about this initially, and because he's getting, unfortunately, near the last days of his life, and he's still coming in and sharing, but because he's getting to the last days of his life, he's sharing everything. Right? It's like, wow. So we talked about this in a little bit of detail. So Jim Scott went a little bit further with it. I guess, well, Jim Scott and I, we have conversations. He has conversations with my wife, Tracy, who sets up all these shows. So we're super informed guys on many different levels, a lot of the stuff. But there's always the wow factor. And, I have Leo Zagami come on. He's got a lot of deep insights. Many, many, many others. Ole Demogard. So he's got great, deep insights that, we talk behind the scenes sometimes. And it's like, wow. We've tried to have people on the show, a lot of us. Some of these people, unfortunately, get disappeared before they come on our show. Now, you'll see when you go listen to this show, it was heavily suppressed. They kept coming in trying to jam it, but stay with it. Listen in. You're going to have some amazing insights. So let's listen in.
I want to take like a minute to expound on one thing that Jimmy said. I never dreamed in my wildest dreams that he would expose that one thing. But our friend Daniel Facina texted me and he said, See if you can get Jimmy to comment about the Antarctica mission. Okay, so just for your audience, he was in Central America doing operations in the area where Hasselbusch was shut down. They were flying into Nicaragua. They were running cocaine. Okay, he gets this mission. His mercenary group, which was part of, he worked for United Fruit Company under the name Colonel John Felter. Okay, that was one of his aliases. He had 32 different State Department passports with different names on them at the time, but on paper.
So James Files is basically like what I did in SEAL Team 6 and what I did in the CIA times 10, right? He was very, very far up there and had incredible training, incredible background. I think that's one of the reasons why he's still alive. He was one of those guys, they told him to do something crazy, something far-fetched, like you're going to hear about, and he went and did it without hesitation. So I think that's one of the reasons why he's still alive, and almost every one of his assassin group is gone. They've killed him off, but they've allowed him to live. They tried to kill him, quite frankly, and he killed everybody that came after him. So they just like threw him in prison and stayed away from him. So that's probably another one of the reasons why he's still alive.
His paycheck was to Colonel John Felter, and it went to the CIA's bank in Miami, then was transferred to his bank in Chicago where his family lived on his money. Okay, so he gets tasked to go to the South Pole. He goes down there, and they say, hey, we've got these hybrids. They're like, and he said he wasn't sure if they were hybrids or aliens, but they were in some kind of.
Okay, hybrids. Let's go there. All right, so let me explain what a human alien hybrid is. Hybrids, new form of technological advancement that were humanoid robots infused with human consciousness. It could be alien aliens that are hybridized with humans. I have memories of that in the Secret Space Program. We've seen movies on this. It's over the top. We've had people talk about this for years, guys, and now you're going to hear it firsthand. Well, just not firsthand, but it was firsthand. If you go back and listen to this video, like I talked about, it's pretty long videos, like 2.5 hours, but the information packed, incredibly information. We didn't mess around. We got right down to the point of everything, and this video is probably going to blow up. All right, so we went down that rabbit hole, guys, and I tell you, when James started talking about all this stuff, I was like, wow. I was wow. Right? I was wow. So you're going to love it. So afterwards, Jim just clarified a few things and let everybody know what was going on. So these hybrid programs, a lot of people have been talking about them, are going on down in these deep underground bases and in Antarctica. And one of them got out of control. And so they called in James Files' team to like eliminate them.
Detention facility, and they had gotten out of their area, and they couldn't control them, and they couldn't get them back into whatever they were, like control rooms or a certain floor of the facility. But it was multiple floors underground, and they flew them out there. They give them their weapons. They said this is what they look like. They had blue skin, and their skin looked like the hide of an elephant or rhinoceros. It was kind of like cracked. It was like a leathery, sort of, not like our epidermis, but like a leathery hide. That they really had an animal look to them, and they couldn't control them. They were in the facility, run loose. And he told them, go kill them. And his team went down there. They went down a few floors on elevators, and they went back and killed all of them. Then they went back up, had to sign non-disclosure agreements, and were told, okay, get back on the plane. And they were flown right back to Central America. It didn't last that long, just a couple days. In my wildest dreams, I didn't think he would disclose that, because he told me he didn't want it, and he's been on a UFO recovery thing too, and he doesn't want to talk about it because he feels like the average person that listens to this would go, "Oh, this is bullshit. There's no such thing as aliens," that kind of thing. And he said you lose your audience and people think you're crazy. So he never wanted to talk about that. And I said, do you mind if I tell the story after you die?
So, what do you guys think? Is it crazy? Are you glad you just heard about it? So there's a lot of people that have to keep this information under wraps. Just like you heard Jim Scott talk about, they came to the surface and signed non-disclosure agreements. So at some point, this stuff can be disclosed, and Jimmy Files is doing it. So he's got a great book. They have 3 books out, and within his books is a lot of information that he gives out. But when we do these shows, he reveals a little bit more, right? He reveals a little bit more. And so I guess with Jim Manning, they did like 5 hours together, and he disclosed all kind of stuff. But that won't be revealed until Jimmy Files passes away, right? So I'd like to see the guy stay around because I've been doing shows with him for a couple of years now, and every time he comes on, it's like, wow. So just like today, how much more does he got? Well, think about it. He was involved as a CIA assassin for decades upon decades upon decades, and he's one of the survivors of that group. Like I said, he even said that most guys don't survive past 34 or something like that. And that's very interesting because that's what a lot of people that have come on my show that have been in some of these programs, they have said that, like the women that are involved in, human trafficking, right? Honeypot stuff. They say that usually they get to around 30 and they're killed off because they're no longer can entice people so that they can get information from them. So it's very very interesting, all of this, how it all ties together. Unbelievable stuff. So let me show you also what Brad Olson has in his book. So this is his upcoming book that will be released in January. So Secrets of Antarctica, the Untold History of the Ice Continent. So he talks about excuse me. He talks about the ice continent, lost lands, Patagonia giants, maps of the ancient Sea King. So there's science behind this. There's documented evidence. Nazis in Antarctica. Admiral Richard Byrd that went down there with a couple fleets, and both of them, and they ran away because the Nazis had super high-tech flying saucers with directed energy weapons that could burn through aircraft and ships. So they got out of there. They were way over their heads with the technology. Where they get the technology? They got it from aliens, right? Hollow Earth at the South Pole, Antarctica, ETs, extraterrestrials, black goo conclusion. So, excuse me, very, very interesting stuff. And I've been talking all day. So, very interesting stuff. So I think that we're going to see more of this come out. I think by next year, easily next year, there will be aliens on TV, right? So everybody will see, they will be talked about. It will no longer be hidden. People will no longer die because they have information on extraterrestrials, and a lot more. So that's one of the things I want to share real quick on that. It's amazing, all the information that's coming out, the technologies. I mean, where else are we going to go? What's the next thing that's going to happen? It's going to be quite fascinating. All right. So I'll keep you guys up to date. Like I said, I was like back-to-back shows today, so couldn't put together too much information for the afternoon. But that right there is like super, super amazing. information. So hope you guys love it. I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love.